Time for Coach's Comments, presented by Southside Auto Tech. I'm Cristiano Simonetta, joined alongside by Stars head coach and GM Cody Chupp. And Cody, I know you're not going to know this stat, but I want your reaction to it. Tony Fulmer, a 56-game goal drought snapped. His last goal, November 24th of 2018. It wasn't even with the Lincoln Stars, and he looked like a 30-goal scorer, sniping top shelf from the left circle. Your initial thoughts of that first?
I would be lying if I said probably the only person in the building more surprised than me was Tony. No, and I think it's just it goes to show you that if you're doing things right and you're doing things right consistently, you start to create a little luck and puck luck for yourself. And that was, our message after the game was, when you go through adversity and when you haven't shown up consistently, you're going to have to prove it. And the hockey gods, or whatever you want to call it, they're going to test you. And without a doubt, we were tested tonight. And our resolve and our resiliency, our willingness to stick to it was definitely tested tonight. And our response, our power plays response, our 5-on-5 response, our penalty kill response was fantastic. And we ultimately created a little favor for ourselves because of the way we played throughout the course of 60 minutes. Were we perfect? No, but we were much better as a group, and it started with our willingness to work.
And even though you went down 2 goals as well in a matter of minutes in that period, in the first period, and one next thing I'll ask you, it's the next item on the agenda. So it's Matt Miller's game-tying goal with 25.1 left. Me being from Chicago, the first thing you think of when it's a shorthanded goal to tie a game is Patrick Kane in 2010, Game 5 against Nashville. Certainly not to this magnitude was the goal scored by Miller, but it's just, again, that resolve and that work ethic from your team. How proud were you to see, even if that puck doesn't go and you say, hey, we're shorthanded a guy, we got Moose off to the bench, but we were able to create some chances and get a bit one last go?
Yeah, I'd probably be lying if I would have said that we would take a moral victory out of that. And, we came into this game with high expectations for ourselves, and one of those expectations was 2 points. And so, there were breakdowns, and there were breakdowns at crucial moments that we continue to have to shore up. With that being said, our consistency is what produced not only that goal, but our result tonight. And, we get the goalie off, we get in on pressure, we win those battles, we're hard over pucks, we take that first step to the net, and then Millsy does a great job of clearing his stick, finding a little soft area where he can get that puck, and then obviously the finish, which is exactly what we needed at the right time.
And limiting a team under 25 shots had to help too. There was stability, whether it's Jake Boltman. I thought Jacob Bauer had one of his best games as a Lincoln Star. What was different from the defense tonight that you saw limiting the odd man rush opportunities and even some of the chances on the power play from Sioux Falls tonight?
I think there was a difference from everybody, and obviously against a team like Sioux Falls that lives off and is very good in transition, limiting the amount of transition that we give them from their own blue line, so making sure that we're taking care of the puck and making simple plays and taking what the game gives us is the start of that. That allows us to have 5 guys on the right side of the puck if it does turn over. Our DA working together, playing in tandem in those situations, keeping the speed in front of them, and our forwards' willingness to work back are ultimately what slows down that transition. And if you look at the transition that they created, how many plays we were able to break up at our blue line or just inside our blue line, where it's our F3 or our F3 or our first guy back or our second forward back that's breaking up those plays. It's just a willingness to work. It's a willingness to work, and then the other components come into it, but that foundation is the work ethic.
We've talked about every element tonight, the forwards, defense. Got to talk about Jake Musatelli. He allows that goal to Tyler Coffey, but he stops a breakaway chance, had a couple of dynamite saves in this game. Your reaction, his response after an outing against Des Moines that he wanted to have back, and comes away with 2 points tonight.
Yeah, I think what I love about Moose is he's a bit of a perfectionist, and at the same time, his ability to make a big save when we needed it, his ability to keep us in the game at times when we started to leak a little bit of oil was fantastic. And Moose will probably be the first to tell you that he'd like one or two of those back. But at the same time, he made some saves that kept that game within reach for us. And that's all you can ask for your goaltenders. They're getting better as we go. And, ultimately they're a product of what's in front of them. And in games like this, when we're working and we're doing things right, we create puck luck on both sides. So, we get the big save that we need at the right time, and we get the goal late when we really need it. And to me, it's not coincidence, and those things don't come if you're not working for them. So I think that's what we take out of this game is that was a lot closer to the version that we want to be all the time. And now we have to continue to build. And as soon as we sit around and say that we're satisfied with anything that we did tonight, we're not progressing in the right direction.
That was Coach's comments presented by Southside Auto Tech. Thank you so much for doing this, Cody. Stars win 4-3, a comeback effort in overtime. The goal scored by Tony Fulmer. With under a minute to go in overtime. Stars back in action on the road next week against Cedar Rapids and Dubuque. We'll see you then.